$24 trillion. That's the estimated value of the raw materials in the soil of the Democratic Republic of Congo. It's the richest patch of earth on the planet. And right now, it's at the center of a silent global war. And this global war pits China and the US in the arms race for critical minerals and rare earths. And while the world's media focuses on surface level politics, a much more dangerous game is being played. On one side, you have Donald Trump's America First agenda, looking to secure supply chains of the future in an arms race for critical minerals and rare earths against China. On the other, you have Paul Kagame, a man whose influence in the region has been backed by the West for decades. And Paul Kagame has been allowed to just carte blanche to do whatever he wanted. But this isn't just about trade deals or diplomacy. It's about who controls the green energy revolution, the tech industry, and the very future of global power. And today, we're going behind the headlines to talk about the $1 trillion secret they are not telling you. This is the truth about the battle for Congo. So in December of 2025, Donald Trump said this.
Economic benefits for everybody, and we'll be involved with sending some of our biggest and greatest companies over to the two countries, and we're going to take out some of the rare earth and take out some of the assets and pay, and everybody's going to make a lot of money.
So you see the video, Donald Trump says everybody's going to make a lot of money, and for him, it's business as usual. And that, and this also, the approach that he's taking is a shift from U.S. policy, which in previous times, the U.S. policy was, let's arm Kagame, let's give him aid, let's give the Rwandan and Ugandan regimes all the resources they need. Let's give them the protection for the crimes that they commit in the Congo, and let's let them be the conduit for the minerals that come out of the Congo. Allow those minerals to be smuggled and go through Rwanda and be sold to the global market. This time, Trump is wanting to send American companies to actually directly then exploit these resources. And in a way, this is going to cut Rwanda out of this middleman game that they play, other than potentially some logistical role. Rwanda is not going to have their hands on the resources like they've had before. And let me explain what that means, actually. And the reason why Kagame is drawing the line. This comes back when Trump made that statement. Rwanda and Congo had signed a peace deal, which I call a minerals deal, to stop a war and a genocide and a war of aggression and a plunder that's been going on for the last 30 years. Since 1996, Rwanda and Uganda invaded Congo. And at the center of this invasion, and the reason for this invasion, and the way that it's been also perpetuated, is by the reason, and this at the center of it is Congo's minerals. Rwanda has become the largest coltan exporter, and this is a mineral that is not found in Rwanda. In fact, Rwanda is also starting to export tungsten, which is also found in the Congo, part of the coltan. Coltan is important because it is used in much of the electronics that we use, including the device that you're using to watch this video. And Congo has one of the largest deposits of coltan. In fact, last year, this peace deal came out of extreme violence when Rwanda sent its troops and its proxy militia, known as the M23, to take over towns in Congo, including the largest coltan mine, the Rubaya mine. And this mine, when they with Rwanda taking over that mine, they basically control a large chunk of the coltan to that goes out to the globe, the rest of us, the rest of the world. And so the looting has been at the center of the invasions of Congo. And in order for the looting to succeed, Paul Kagame and his regime have enjoyed protection from the West, from the US, from the UK, from the European Union, from France, you name it. All of these players are helping, have enabled Paul Kagame to go into the Congo and commit all of these atrocities. And the human cost to the people of Congo and also Rwanda has been immense. I shared my story of surviving the Rwandan genocide in 1994 on this channel. And many people in the Congo today are undergoing similar atrocities. And in Rwanda, if anyone dares to talk about the reason why Rwanda is actually invaded and occupied the Congo, they are jailed or they come up missing, so disappeared. And if they're lucky, they run to exile because the government comes down really hard on them. And so more than 10 million people have died in the Congo as a result of these invasions. Their lives have been taken. It's been a genocide for economic gains. And it's the longest ongoing genocide, been going on for the last 30 years, the deadliest conflict since World War II, and most of the world does not know. When stories come out about the Congo, usually in the media, they're surface level reports, and a lot of times there's all of this praise for Paul Kagame and his military, and so the media has also been an enabler for Paul Kagame, and so you have global giants in industries like the tech industry, global tech giants who are benefiting from these resources in the Congo. The electric vehicles, the Teslas and the other electric vehicles using lithium batteries, they are benefiting from the resources in the Congo. And what Kagame stands to lose if this deal happens the way that it's set up is that he will lose the protection that he's been enjoying from the West, because then at that point the US will be dealing directly with the Congolese authorities, and Rwanda would just potentially be just a transit place to transport the minerals instead of benefiting from the immense riches of from the plunder that of course involves all of these global multinationals, and you'll be surprised at some of the countries where these companies are, like places like Canada, places like Australia. You have the usual suspects, of course, the US, the UK, and France, but the number of companies from Canada and Australia, and then Switzerland and others, it's really surprising and staggering. And the amounts of money that they make is a lot. And so Paul Kagame has also used it to not only enrich himself, his political party, the RPF, the Rwandan Patriotic Front, which basically runs everything in it's a militaristic party built around his military. It's one of the richest political parties in the world, and it's from one of the poorest countries in the world. And so what we are seeing in the Congo is a resource war where the people are often, naturally not often, always the very last consideration. In the deal that was signed, there's not much that even talks about the people. And so the question now is, will Trump's deal bring peace or will it bring more conflict? It is hard, though, to bring more conflict to the Congo than what we've already seen. Like I said, more than 10 million victims, including half of that being children under the age of 5. So we're talking babies. And and at this point, if Kagame was to lose this support from the West, he also could lose his power in Rwanda. And if he's no longer president, then he faces prosecution for this genocide in the Congo, for the atrocities in the Congo, for the massive, massive sexual violence that's been committed against Congolese women, including children. And and so he has to cling on and hold on for dear life and at all cost in order to continue to hold on. And so this is why Paul Kagame is saying he will not remove his troops from the Congo, even though part of the peace deal that they signed is actually one of the things that needs to happen is for Rwandan troops to leave the Congo and stop its belligerence in the Congo. And so let me know what you think in the comments. Have another video that talks about the battle for Congo's minerals. It'll pop up on your screen. Also, my personal story surviving this type of the type of atrocities that the people in the Congo are going through. You also check that one out. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think that this deal will actually succeed, and will it stop the war and the genocide in the Congo, or is it going to make it worse? Will Paul Kagame cave to his masters, the people who've protected him for years and funded him to the tune of billions of dollars and armed him, trained his military and everything? Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.